Bitcoin hoodie guy coming back with another Caspa video. Before we get into it today, I bought a notebook and I haven't wrote anything, but every day I'm going to start keeping track. Right here, this one's cool. I didn't even notice it, but it's you can just circle the day and the month. So I'm going to start keeping track of a journal of my thoughts, the different cryptos I'm looking at, things like that, what's going on with Caspa, those different ideas. I think it's good to write stuff down on paper, question some of what you're hearing, myself, anyone included. There's going to be a lot of people shilling a lot of stuff, so you need to be safe out there. But Caspa's looking pretty good. Addresses are 344,000, so that's kind of hanging about the same. You can see that the one Mexi wallet basically transferred most of the Caspa that moved out of it just to the other Mexi wallet. I'm guessing 3.2 million. That's a handy tool. There's no new humpbacks. There's still 10 humpbacks, so that's the same. Right here, you can only display balances. Okay, I think this is new right here. Only display address balances with the change in the last 24 hours. Right there, then it shows that really in the top 109 addresses, that's a cool feature now. So in the top 109 addresses, only there's these 10 are the only ones that have had Caspa moving. You can see the KuCoin wallet down here had 3.1 million Caspa leave. This Bybit wallet, this one I don't know which. So this one had 2 million leave. The number 26 wallet, the number 21 wallet added a little bit. So that's pretty cool. You can see the second 10. So really in the top 400 wallets, not much. And Mexi's got another wallet down here. So Mexi's got lots of Caspa. They got 3 different wallets. So it's a pretty interesting metric to use there. So, yep, that's what's going on there. Hash rate's still looking good. It's, fluctuating 140 to 130. Still, that's looking pretty good. And the price is hanging about the same there, just 11.5 cents. Markets, Bitcoin's at 45,000 basically. So people anticipating the upcoming launch. Right is blowing up right now under $1 million market cap. We can take a look up at that in a minute. One thing I always forget to do is when I'm checking out a new project or researching something, like obviously you've probably already heard of Gala. Everyone's heard of Gala. But when you look at the price sometimes, and it's been a couple of years, the token's been out. This isn't so much for the newer tokens or coins, but the ones that have been around since last bull cycle. You want to take a look because some of them have their circulating supply growing. So right here you can see, okay, Gala's at 3 cents, but its all-time high was 70 plus cents. So man, it's like if it could get back up to that, that's over a 20x. But then you look at the market cap, and the market cap is around $1 billion, a little under, and the market cap at the peak was 5 billion. So it's just almost a 5 or 6x away from there. Where here you'd be looking at a 20x in terms of price. In terms of market cap, you'd be just to get back to where it was, you'd be looking like at 5 or 6x. That's just something to keep in mind. I forget to look at that sometimes. But smart contracts for Caspa. Let's get into the meat and potatoes here. So I haven't even read this. Inside Conflict 1 hour ago. It's a discussion. I posted on Reddit. So think about all the coins that have smart contracts. They have fees out the roof. Caspa only has a fee of 0.0001. Imagine stable coins and many other coins created on Caspa. This is literally financial freedom of the financial freedom coin. It's like you don't have to pay crypto tax. Once Caspa is fully developed, there's literally minimal to no use for any other coin. Off topic, Caspa is becoming more and more deflationary as time goes on, and therefore it can be used as a store of value peer-to-peer currency. What are your thoughts? Please keep this comment section mature. Thank you. So we'll have to check back on this on the day. Stables on Caspa will be the default chain for sending transactions with speeds faster than Visa, MasterCard Plus. In my opinion, it'll be the coin to use the transfer between exchanges. I use XRP for that purpose, but I don't hold XRP. I do the same. Yes, so smart contracts, anything is possible. The most important thing is that the base layer is fully decentralized and fair launch. Cheap, fast, global, and open. You want to have an even playing field and no attack vectors. Anything can't be built on top of Caspa's solid foundation. It will come on time. This is how you build trust in this plan from the start. Yes, sir. Thank you for the input. So let me know what you think about the smart contracts and how it could take over. So I think the smart contracts will play an important role. Now I know that they floated a couple other ideas, but right now with them doing the Rust rewrite, the testnet 11 that's going to be made public soon, with the 10 blocks per second, that's where the focus of the developers now. But in terms of this, I think that the smart contract narrative for Caspa might need to heat up. Caspa's got a great community. The smart contracts, I do think, can play an important role. It doesn't seem like it's going to be happening in the first half of this year. Maybe things can heat up in the second half of next year, but for it to do good, and look at Cardano, it did a peak at a different time than Bitcoin. Last time it peaked in September. Bitcoin, like Ethereum, peaked in November. But I do think that the smart contract narrative will heat up, and a lot of the things built with the smart contracts, the dApps and all that, take time to be built once that's live. So that could take a while. But for terms of price action, the smart contract narrative with Caspa, if it heats up, could be a huge catalyst. And that might be buy the rumor, sell the news type of event, because once the smart contracts are live, you're still looking at months, maybe years before the dApps are built. I mean, it wasn't like on Cardano, okay, smart contracts are live, and 10 minutes later, there's a bunch of apps and all that stuff. It took a while. It took months before really it was kind of, I think January, kind of December, January, February. That's when like Muesli Swap was like the first DEX, and then Sunday Swap and those Min Swap, and those things started coming online. So it took months. You'll be looking at the same thing for Caspa. That's something to keep in mind depending on what your play is. The narratives are important, driving all sorts of different things. I mean, in Apple's Vision release, I know has been floated potentially this month. Sketchy rumor says Vision Pro launch will launch in final week of January. Some are talking about February or something. I don't know how accurate those are, but Apple's got a strong brand, and so if you have what I can see in Web3 gaming and metaverse getting a little mini bull run, or that could be a possible catalyst. That's a big company with a strong brand getting into that augmented reality, virtual reality space. So let me know. I do think that smart contracts are going to be very important to Caspa, if they're integrated on the base chain, or or if they're integrated with, like, say, Ethereum or something like that. We don't know how that's going to play out. One's a little bit more difficult to do than the other, but I do think that narrative will need to heat up to really maximize on this bull run. But that's just my opinion. That's not financial advice. Caspa's got a strong community, a growing hash rate, which means the security, more computers are coming online, stronger computers, and the price is actually held pretty resistant considering how much it went up in such a short period of time. So there's a big area of people that could have bought in early or mined early, and the price is still way up from that. And people are still, had the chance to take profits. New miners coming on that are trying to pay off their mining rigs, things like that. And despite all that, the price only briefly went under 10 cents. And after it went sideways for a month, I was surprised. I didn't think it was going to go under 10 cents. It did, but it wasn't down there for very long. And right now, with a bunch of catalysts on the horizon in the overall crypto market, it might never go back down under 10 cents. So who knows? I mean, right now you can see it's kind of pushing back up on 12 cents right now. And so I think it's exciting right now, but I do think smart contracts will be integral part of Caspa's ecosystem. Those things take time to develop, and this market, I don't know, maybe later this year or early next year is possible. I just know things take the time to get developed. The devs, they have a lot of testing and stuff like that before it can be made public and on mainnet. But I think with Caspa for price action, it only needs the narrative to get strong, probably. And they could probably launch somewhere near the end of the bull run. even a little bit before or after the bull run, and that could do amazing things for Caspa. So yeah, it's exciting times with the Bitcoin spot ETF, which I think long term and even in the midterm will drive the price up. I think that they're going to have to. They might already have Bitcoin for the ETFs, but they're going to at some point, they're if people are wanting to buy the ETFs, then they're going to have to buy Bitcoin. And so I think that there will be a little bit of a supply shock there. And so yeah, it'll be interesting. You got the halving come up, and someone brought a good point up is just because there'll be 900 Bitcoin a day generated versus 450. It depends on some of the miners aren't selling. If they have enough money to keep their daily operations going and they want to hodl their Bitcoin, that doesn't, so those new incoming Bitcoin mined aren't always coming onto the market for the, secondary sales. So, yeah, someone wanted to take a look at right under 1 million market cap is basically degen territory. It doesn't look like, I guess maybe it's right stream. It looks like it's up 165%, something pumping. $858,000 market cap. Degen play. You can see that it looks like it's been around for a year and a half, and something's making it pop. A billion tokens with 15% out. And it looks like it's on Gate.io and MEXC and Pancake Swap on Binance Smart Chain. So I'm not sure why it's pumping, but it's went up a lot. Not a lot of volume, $617,000 volume. Token Life. Is it true that KASPA will have ETFs? It'll have ETPs, which are exchange traded products that are like that. I know that Dr. Martin Heisbach has talked about that. Here it is right here, this post on Twitter talking about a European company will issue the first ever ETP similar to US ETF for KASPA. Details will follow on the launch. So far, I haven't heard any more about the official launch of any of those ETPs. So I guess it's possible. Dr. Martin Heisbach, head of research at Uphold. So 91,000 followers. So, I haven't heard too much more about that since he started talking about that. So it's possible, and it sounds like it's possible. Now, the ETPs in Europe are, they're similar to the ETFs. It's just Europe has a lot less liquidity. So what's going to go on with the Bitcoin ETF will be completely different than what's going to happen with the ETP in terms of the amount of liquidity that's going to flow in. But that's going to be an amazing step in the direction. Seeing what ones I know Bitcoin, what's Bitcoin blockchain based ETFs, 21 shares. So I was just seeing which ones are already there. I mean, basically ETP and ETF are interchangeable. Your crypto native, let's see. I know that there's some, I think Bitcoin and Ethereum ETPs over there. I don't know the list of all the ETPs. We'll have to look up that later, but let's see. Check out the Bitcoin. The Global X Bitcoin ETP is a physically backed exchange traded product, which ETP, so it's slightly different. I know that there's some of those out there. I just don't know. I just don't have the cool liquidity that the United States has. So I guess maybe they even call them ETFs. Oh, Bitcoin ETP. This product is not because I need to use my VPN. I got a VPN. I just don't use it when I'm doing stuff like this because I don't need it. So yeah, I mean, it's possible. I wouldn't know for sure if it's going to happen right, when someone said, but I think we'll have to wait till a little bit more concrete information on that. That's the last I remember hearing about it. It was like a month ago, a little over a month ago. And so that will be big. That will bring some European liquidity in there. But make no mistakes, the best capital markets, United States, the most trusted, the most transparent, and the most liquidity. So that'll be a step in the right direction. And every notch in the belt for Caspa, making testnet 11 live for people to check out, going 10 blocks per second on the main net, getting an ETP in Europe. It's not going to get ETF in the United States anytime soon. If Ethereum got one this year, that would probably be a big deal. And right now, we still, as much as we think that it's just a week or two away until you have the Bitcoin ETF, you don't have the Bitcoin ETF, but the ETP could be a huge catalyst. So, I mean, if you're looking at catalysts for Caspa, you're looking at tier one exchange listings, crypto.com, Gemini, Binance, Coinbase. You can see what happens to like Neon after it got onto crypto.com. And so that's a huge catalyst, just general overall catalyst of Bitcoin and things like that. The Bitcoin ETF, the Bitcoin halving, maybe lowering interest rates, maybe a stimulus. Those are all possible catalysts. The Rust rewrites, and getting that further develops the catalyst. The ETP in Europe, if it does come for Caspa, that's a catalyst. Those exchange one, tier one listings. So there's a lot of catalysts in the pipeline. So you just got to get your plan together, whether you're just going to hodl all the way through the bull market, if you're going to, what stages you're going to take profit, what price points you might take profit, or if you're trying to load up your bags more. Maybe your bags aren't packed all the way and you're trying to load up more. I don't know if it's going back under 10 cents. It would, this last month and a half, it briefly dipped down there. And, no one knows the future. They're a huge catalyst right now. I mean, right now, if it had a tier one exchange listing, you could kiss, under 20 cents goodbye. It might be 25 cents, 40 cents overnight. I don't know, and I don't know if those exchange listings are going to happen this year or not. But with being decentralized, fair launch, no pre-mine, it's hard to imagine that it's not going to get listed on a tier one exchange. And I could see it happening this year. And so we'll just have to wait, man. There's a lot of exciting stuff. So let me know if you think that the smart contract narrative is needed for Caspa to maximize its gains in this bull run. And let me know what you think about a possible ETP in Europe. And do you think it's going to happen in the first quarter or second quarter this year? And that's it. Let's enjoy the bull run. Thanks for watching. Right here, LA Ballin 2408 says, I'm loading up on Caspa. Nice. Well, that's good, man. I think it's going to be really good. I think it's going to have a good L1 narrative. Kind of might be the darling L1 that kind of comes out of nowhere. And with the mining hash rate and all this stuff and 10 blocks per second. And if there's even just a hint of smart contracts, it could be pretty exciting. And, when you want to be buying it, right now, yeah, it's cool. Some people don't want to mess around if it's not on any exchanges. If you have to go to, and when you get ones like this, it's a layer one. You can't go buy it on Uniswap. So it's on some smaller exchanges. You got KuCoin, MEXC. So when this one hits, some of those starts hitting, some of those, Gemini, Kraken, crypto.com, Binance, Coinbase, the price is gonna, it'll really shoot up. It'll do, something probably maybe even more like that, but I don't know. But it could really go from, it basically went from 5 cents to 15 cents. So if it did that again, let's just say that was a possible catalyst. That could take it up to potentially like 30, 40 cents. I don't know, so there's a lot of exciting catalysts in my mind, in my opinion, for Caspa on the horizon, and everything's falling into place. You got the developers working hard in the background. You got community members, hodling. You got miners increasing the hash rate. And hey, maybe they're having to sell some and get some profits, but it's not crashing the price. And you got all this other stuff, macro kind of crypto catalysts on the horizon. And you got all sorts of catalysts for Caspa itself. And, if something like smart contracts happen, it could be, things can get crazy. So it's exciting times. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.